What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. So every 6 months, I like to give a little brief update on the Supercharger to let you know how I'm feeling about it, pros, cons, all that stuff. So this is the 18-month update. We got this Supercharger back in October 2017, and I gotta tell you, it's been a real pleasure. I've learned a lot with it, and it's taken some ease off of me because before I got the Supercharger, like a lot of you, you're afraid of what it's going to do reliability-wise to the motor. That's what a lot of people say. You spend so much money on a Supercharger, and it could potentially ruin, your 5.7 liter V8. And we don't want that. So it's been great. There's a lot of videos up there of people doing, the 0 to 60, the track runs, drag racing with it. But the point of me getting the Supercharger for this truck, just to catch everyone up, was what is it like when you leave the track? What is it like to daily drive it? What is it like to go to the food store with it? Everything like that. So I had one check engine light when I first got it put in, but that was only because one of the fasteners wasn't completely fastened, I guess. And I basically clipped it back together, cleared the check engine light, and it never came back. So that was it. We never really had any problems whatsoever with the Supercharger. When the vehicle goes up for service in May, I'm going to get either the belt replaced or one of the pulleys replaced because it's making a little bit of a whine, but that hasn't happened in like a month now. So it's been a while with that, but we're gonna get it looked at anyway, just in case there's an issue down the road. So other than that, the Supercharger is so much fun. There are two main things at the end of the day that I like most about the Supercharger. Number one is the fact that it makes this big, heavy Crewmax Tundra feel as light as a feather, especially in highway travel, even the daily travel. It just makes the truck maintain speed and get back up to speed quickly, and not aggressively quickly unless that's the thing that you want. It just really makes the truck feel great as far as power delivery goes. And I'm talking in an everyday situation, not 0 to 100 miles an hour, just getting up to speed off of a traffic light or, passing a slow car in front of you going to the fast lane. It just really helps the truck overall with the way the truck feels going down the road. Personally, I drove a lot of double cabs. I owned 4 double cabs before this Crewmax, and I gotta say that the double cab always felt a little bit quicker. It felt like it got down the road a little bit smoother. When I got the Crewmax, I felt like it was a little bit heavier, kind of sluggish, especially in hotter temperatures, we'll say like summer temperatures, but the Supercharger has taken care of that. So you can only imagine what a Supercharger in a double cab would do. Mixing a smoother driving experience with a Supercharger would probably be crazy. Maybe we'll do that down the road. But overall, that has been one of my favorite things. The other favorite thing that I've discovered in these first 18 months with the Supercharger by far is the fuel mileage. All right, this truck, we've done a bunch of fuel mileage tests with it, and we will continue to do more and more as the Supercharger gets older to see what it's all about. But overall, we've done things with this Supercharger, highway trips, local trips, and we've tested the fuel mileage. And the fuel mileage always seems to sit between 15, 5, and 16 mpg. Now, that's not the greatest mpg in the world, but the truck is 381 horsepower, at the flywheel, right? When you get the Supercharger, it's 550 or so at the flywheel. So you get that much more horsepower, and the fuel mileage isn't the worst thing in the world. So you have a huge, powerful truck with still decent gas mileage. So I gotta be honest with you, that is the one thing that has surprised me. With all the testing, it always ends up the same. I'm not getting 12 mpg, which is what I was scared about. I thought at the end of the day, I would get something miserable as far as mpg. You gotta fill this thing with premium. Okay, so that's not cheap. But yeah, so the fuel mileage has been actually very good. I definitely give that a thumbs up fuel mileage wise. All this extra power, there when I need it, but I didn't give up too much at the pump, because I hear some owners tell me that they're getting 13 mpg on a stock 5.7 motor. So I've added, roughly 150, 160 horsepower to this truck, and my fuel mileage is right where it always is. So I can't complain about that. So fuel mileage and the drivability of the truck with the Supercharger is amazing. Those are my two favorite things. Listen, 0 to 60s on the times I've done them, it's terrifying in a good way. The truck has so much power. It definitely doesn't feel like a Tundra. When you put your foot down on this pedal, it's a lot of fun. So you get yourself a very expensive Supercharger. I will say that the price is a lot, but you get what you pay for. But there's a ton of power there when you want it. So it's definitely up to you. Like I say, I got the promo code at Sparks Parts, TundraDude34. It saves you 5%. Now that 5% makes a big difference when you're buying something as expensive as a Supercharger, which is roughly $6,500 to $7,000. It's not cheap, but Magnuson makes a good quality part. It's a good quality Supercharger, and I stand behind them at this point because I've learned myself in the last 18 months that it doesn't feel like it hurt the reliability at all. You know, so I'm really happy that I bought the part. I don't know if I could ever own another vehicle again without a Supercharger, just because what it does for the truck. I also am a big fan of noise, and I don't mean obnoxious, hardcore, you know, no muffler exhaust noise, but to hear the Supercharger whine when you're getting up to speed, and especially when you're on the highway passing a vehicle, it's awesome. So, you know, if you have any questions about the Supercharger, I'd be happy to answer the best way I can. But overall, a very positive experience for the first 18 months of it. And the MPG is definitely the winner and my #1 favorite thing so far. So Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 at gmail.com. You guys have a great Saturday.